I'm legally insane. And today, I'm going to be showing you my entire PS4 collection. A total of 13 games. It ain't much. It's going to be a short video. But I'll tell you the history of me with the PS4 and why I have 13 games, because guess what? I mean, we might as well get it out now. I ain't even got a PS4. But there's a reason I got these games. And there's a reason that you might want to pick up some of these games. Because I got some real hidden gems in here, buddy. I got at least one or two games that you're going to heavily consider picking up a loaded gun, 6 bullets in the chamber. You just might blow your balls off. Probably at least one game. Even with my very short list of 13. But I'm going to be selling some of them too. I'm going to be downsizing this collection. And I'll tell you why. 69% of these games I got from your mother. Downtown, 7-Eleven right behind the dumpster. Whole town knows where to find her, buddy. And she gave me a deal. Steal of a deal, you might say. And I ain't talking about a deal on the games. Sometimes I even go downtown to see John Bunday's mother and Marathon Gaming's mother at the same time. They gave me a 2-for-1 special. $5 each. Woo! So let's just go ahead and get started on my first game. And this is the best game in my entire collection and something that I recently picked up. And I will be keeping it. I ain't selling this one. I'm going to eventually get a PS4 or a PS5. And I will be able to finally play this. This is a rare game that you did not know was rapidly becoming very rare and very expensive in very recent times. And I just happened to run across it by pure luck and pure fluke. It's still in the protective packaging that it came in. Parappa the Rappa PS4 Play Asia exclusive. This one is sealed. Very expensive and rare to find a sealed one. I got the last copy in stock. That was actually cheap and fairly priced, considering that the game has been going up. Now, I am going to open this just to make sure I didn't get scammed, for starters. This is a live unboxing. I'm hoping that there's stickers or a manual inside because it is... something is shaking around and I'm worried that the disc is loose. Can you hear that? I mean, I don't want to shake it around too much, but something is moving around. Sealed Parappa the Rappa. This is an HD remake of the original. Like, this is the PS1 Parappa the Rappa. Tap the buttons to rap and dance. Yeah, I mean, this is the original Busta Groove. I played Parappa the Rappa before I even got to play Busta Groove 1 or 2. This was the original music game. The original, I don't know what you call them, rhythm games. So you might be wondering, why did I buy it? Especially considering I don't even have a console right now. Why you might want to pick it up? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I was browsing. I wanted to play Parappa the Rappa. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should get that game. I should finally get it. PS1. Right? I'm a PS1 collector. Look at all the PS1 games behind me. You know, I was browsing eBay thinking I got a little bit of disposable income. I really want to have that game in my collection. So I did what any legally insane person would do, and I said, let's go spend some money, load up eBay. I mean, how much could it possibly be? Parappa the Rappa, come on. Well, to my surprise, it turns out this is a $130 US game. That's 180 Canadian dollars on price charting, and that's if you can even get a copy for that price. If you can even get a good condition copy for that price. Recent sold listings down here, $205, 240 Canadian dollars. This one here, no poster. Oh, I didn't even know it came with a poster. Most of the copies I saw, they didn't have posters anyway. Oh, this one does have a poster. Okay, so you get a bit of a premium, but regardless, you're paying a lot of money. $150, and like I said, plus shipping, plus taxes. People forget that you have to pay tax on top of this. That's why collectors like selling and buying from other collectors. because we don't want to pay tax on $200. Well, it turns out, this game has been steadily climbing ever since that COVID boom. It just never stopped. It was completely dead prior to that. So a lot of resistance around that $150 level. So trying hard to break through that. 3 attempts to break through 150 has not made it. Maybe if you want the game, you might as well go for the PS4 version. So that's what I did. Then I said, well, wait a minute, screw this. Let me look at the PS4 version. And well, I guess a lot of people are thinking the same thing. They get priced out of the OG. And so they think, well, wait a minute, why don't I just get the PS4 version? And then they're thinking, well, hell, that version's probably better anyway. Do I even want the PS1 version? And now this version's going for 90 Canadian dollars, and that's if you can get it for that price. If you can get it for that price. So that's $65 US, and like I said, if you can get it. Go on eBay, check Amazon, check whatever local listings that you know about, whatever websites you check your local stores, because it is climbing to the moon and it's going fast. I don't know what triggered it, but it appears to have started very recently. March 2025, just a couple of months ago, this thing was $26. So I don't know what happened, but I just bit the bullet and I paid it. I just happen to be wanting this game badly, and I'm not paying that PS1 pricing. I'm not doing it. As much as I want the game, I just said it's just not worth it. So I paid $100 brand new sealed for the one that I have, Canadian dollars. Keep in mind mine's sealed. So new price, I paid about market value, but I only found one vendor selling it for that price. Oh, look at this. Brand new sold listings. $163. What did I just pay? $99. Like I said, last copy available. You ain't gonna find it for this price anymore. I literally got the last copy. The seller had nothing left. $200 down here. $125 down here. Yeah. See, this is what I paid. $99.99. Plus tax, mind you. So yeah, I got Parappa the Rappa. That's why I got it. And if you're wondering why I don't have a PS4 yet, well, sorry, buddy. I have over 9,000 games that I'm trying to purchase. And last time I checked, my name isn't Elon Musk. Okay, I don't have the money for PS5. Okay, next up, I'll show you the very first PS4 game I ever bought. Now, once you see this, you will understand why I started collecting PS4 and why I was going to purchase the console. Rewind time back to 2017. Limited Run Games started releasing a whole bunch of monster hits and remakes of old franchises. Old franchises started returning, such as River City Ransom, River City Girls, things like that. Now, that didn't happen in 2017, but other franchises did start returning. And that's when I got interested in newer consoles, because you have to understand, I left this part out earlier, I should have mentioned it, but I had no intention of getting any modern consoles beyond the 360, the Wii U, and the PS3. I was done collecting forever. New modern consoles, I was done. I was done. And I was content with that. Until they started releasing games that I could no longer resist and started bringing back the old classics. And the very now infamous Night Trap. Yes, and this was before Limited Run pulled a scam straight out of a Scamming 101 handbook and reprinted a game that they said was limited to 4,000 copies, and that was sold out within minutes. They underestimated the demand, and they secretly just reprinted it into oblivion, and now the game is worthless. But I got it as my very first PS4 game, so it has a little bit of sentimental value to me, and I held on to it because there was no alternative. There is an alternative now. I thought I brought it with me. Oh, here it is. There is an alternative now. But this one didn't come out till many years later. I have a Nintendo Switch. I'm a heavy Nintendo Switch collector and gamer. So now that I have the Switch version, I no longer need the PS4 version, but that is why I own it. And it's obviously lost value since I didn't sell it when I should have. But I didn't know that a Switch version was coming out. So you got to understand. And Night Trap, I mean, I'm sure everyone knows Night Trap by now, but this is an old Sega CD game. And it just came out of left field. Nobody saw this coming. A re-release of Night Trap, nobody in the planet could have ever expected that or foreseen that coming. That's an old classic. It's a classic. It's not the best game, but it's fun. Now, I'll give you a tip. If you want to play that game, you play it with a buddy. It's not fun solo. I'm not a fan of that. Single player. It's a single player game, but you're supposed to play it with a buddy. Play it together. Try to figure things out together. Pass the controller back and forth. And enjoy the hilarious story and bad acting while you're at it. And when I bought that game, I also bought, at the exact same time, The Bunker, because it's another FMV game, and I thought, oh wow, like FMV games must be making a comeback. Like, I really want to try these games. How fun is it to play those in the modern era? None of them are good. Like, it's at the end of the day, it's nothing more than a B grade or C grade or D grade movie. It's a glorified movie. But I got The Bunker, and then of course they re-released that on the Nintendo Switch as well, so I no longer have any desire to keep any of these games. But that is the history as to why I have them. Now let's move on to bigger and better games. Games that you're really here for. You want to see the hidden gems and the rare games. Well, I got one for you. It's dusty as hell, but I got it. Shenmue 3. I'll do my best to get a better shot of that. Shenmue 3 Collector's Edition. So I got Shenmue 3 for nostalgic purposes. I have a soft spot for Shenmue 3, or Shenmue in general, Shenmue 1 and 2. So you have to understand, Shenmue 3 was a big deal to the Shenmue fans. It was made for the fans, the OG fans back in the day, because it didn't take off with a newer audience. Gen Z did not pick up Shenmue 3. I can tell you that right now. Gen Z has no idea what Shenmue is, and they don't care. Even Shenmue 3 had primitive graphics. And it really wasn't all that good either. I haven't even played it yet, but that's what I heard. But Shenmue 1 and 2 were legendary games. Cinematic masterpiece. And Shenmue 1 gets bashed a lot to this day, but it was very innovative and groundbreaking at the time. It was the first truly open world game where the NPCs lived their lives like real humans. The AI was incredible, mind-blowing stuff. You know, GTA 5 didn't exist back then. And even then, they never went into the backstory like Shenmue did on the NPCs. Every NPC is doing something and living out their lives. It doesn't sound like much, I know. In 2025, it doesn't sound like much, but it was a big deal back then. And let's not forget about the music. The music of Shenmue is partly what makes the game. Imagine Shenmue without the great soundtrack. I don't think it would be the same game, and I don't think it would have stood the test of time. I don't think it would have the cult following that it has today. Without that soundtrack, I'm telling you right now, without that theme music, we would have never gotten a Shenmue 3. Hell, we might not have even gotten a Shenmue 2 if it weren't for that soundtrack. That's how important soundtracks are to games. People don't realize that. I realize it, though. I understand that music can make or break a game. Final Fantasy III on the Super Nintendo. Imagine if that had a bad soundtrack. Do you really think that game would be the legendary Final Fantasy top 3 guaranteed Final Fantasy games to this day? I don't think so, buddy.
Tell me about where you were born.
You want to know about Yokosuka?
Yes, I want to see what Japan is like. Yo, it's morning.
You got the wrong guy.
Lies! Please let me know.
I'd rather not get you involved.
Still, you did good, man.
I don't want to hear it.
Honestly, I don't think your kung fu is strong enough.
The Shinbo tree's blossoms are beautiful.
Indeed. They're in full bloom, though, so the petals will start dropping soon.
That's a shame.
All right, let's fly through some of these other ones. I also got Curse of the Moon way back in 2017. When did this come out? No, sorry, here it is. I purchased this from Limited Run March 29th, 2019. So it came out in March 2019. 2019. Again, I did not own a PS4 back then, nor did I have a Nintendo Switch. And around that time, I also started picking up Switch games. This did not exist on the Switch when I picked it up. So that's why I own it, and that's why I'm now selling it. I'm purging a large portion of my PS4 collection. I'm purging it because I have switched over to the Switch. The Switch is my main console, and for games that I can't get on the Switch, I will get those on the PS4. This is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, number 1. They've since re-released this like 100 times. They even have a compilation disc. So I figure I might as well get rid of it now while it still has some value. And it has value because it's rare. It's very rare. It's a Castlevania clone for those that don't know. And I'm talking OG Castlevania. So I couldn't pass these games up. Remember, I had no intention of getting a PS4 or getting modern consoles in general. But when you're releasing games like this, Curse of the Moon, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, 8-bit style, I could not resist. I tried to fight it. I tried to. And ever since modern companies started releasing these 8-bit, 16-bit style games, 32-bit style games, 64-bit style games, retro style games, my wallet has taken a beating. My wife left me and took the kids because of my Nintendo Switch collecting addiction. So, yeah, I think I know a thing or two about spending money on some of these games. Oh, guys, here's a gem. I should have mentioned this one right from the beginning. Outer Wilds. Once again, I got this when they didn't have a Switch version. However, keep in mind, this game, although I can't tell you much about it, it's a very special game, one of the best games ever made, if not the best game ever made. If you have not played this game, please do not look up a review. You have to avoid spoilers. You must go into the game blind. You must. It is designed to be played that way. And if you do not, you might as well not even play the game. But I got this before the Switch version came out. I now own it on the Switch, so I will sell this version. But if you have the PS4 or PS5, get that version. It is superior to the Switch version. Basically, what you're doing in this game is you are exploring around in space. You will drive your spaceship around. You will visit many planets, and that's all I can tell you. And so visuals are part of the experience, and the PS4 version is superior in the graphics department. They had to dumb down the game on the Switch. But that said, the Switch plays great. They dumbed down the graphics so it has no performance issues at all. But if you want the best experience, you have to play on PC or PS5 or PS4. Oh, and by the way, I did think about keeping Outer Wilds because this is a very sentimental game to me. And I know that that's superior to the Switch version. But in the end, I decided, you know what? I have the Switch version. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm content with that inferior version. The dumber, lower graphic capabilities doesn't bother me. It doesn't take away from the experience to me because I'm so into retro games. The graphics are still mind-blowing to me. I don't know that there can be any better. I don't have a PS5. I haven't seen these crazy cyberpunk games. I've never played or seen cyberpunk other than a trailer, so I don't care for that. I look at what I have in front of me on my Switch and I say, wow, that is absolutely incredible. Random reviews. I just want to show you. I want you to consider picking this game up if you haven't played it or you don't own it already. I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you will not be disappointed. I can guarantee it. Here's a review from Stip. He says, 10 out of 10. I hate that I will never be able to experience the first time playing this ever again because you can't play it twice. So let me tell you something else. Where have I heard that before? Where have you heard that before? 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, that's where. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. You can't play it twice. One of the best games ever made. Best story, sci-fi story ever made. Combat, not so much. I don't care about the combat. But you never find a better story. This user says, this game ranks number 1 in games I want to discuss with my friends, but none of my friends will play it, and I can't get them to play it because I can't tell them what's so good about the game without spoiling it. Please, someone just play this game. I'm begging you, the viewer, right now to play this game. And this review, I have lived this. I've told multiple people to play it, and they just brush me off. They're like, they always say, well, what's the game about? Why should I play it? Oh, what makes it so good? Oh, what do you mean I don't fight any aliens? What do you mean I don't get a gun and blow stuff up? Like, buddy, I wish I could tell you more, but I can't. You just have to freaking experience it. And it goes on sale frequently. I've never had anybody have any interest in it after I tell them about it. Because they want to know more, of course. You know, I get it. This was without a doubt the best overall gaming experience of my life. Never have I felt so empty yet so full after finishing a game. Iro says, I can't wait to get dementia so I can play this game for the first time again. That's the same feeling I had with 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim and still do. I can't wait to lose my memory. How amazing would it be to lose your memory? And just go back and play Final Fantasy III for the Super Nintendo all over again. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim all over again. Outer Wilds all over again. I'm saddened that I will probably never experience another game like this one. 1 in a million. He's not exaggerating. Flew into the sun on my first loop. Forgot to put on my suit before walking into space on the second loop. Got lost for the next 1,000 loops. Peed my pants on Dark Bramble. Finally figured everything out and experienced a life-changing ending. Peak gaming. Play it once, think about it forever. Best case scenario to play, pick it up without knowing what it is. Don't look up anything or watch any videos until you finish the game. And still listen to the music years later, just like Final Fantasy III for the Super Nintendo, just like Final Fantasy VII, just like Final Fantasy IX, just like Shenmue, Top Gear for the Super Nintendo, Turbo Chase Horizon. Have you listened to the soundtrack in Turbo Chase Horizon? Some real bangers in there, buddy. I can't wait to grow old and get Alzheimer's so that I can experience this game for the first time again and again. Imagine being able to play this game every day because you forget everything. Do yourself a favor and go into this game as blind as possible, and you'll experience a masterclass in game design unlike anything you've ever played. We got to fly through these a little bit quicker. Here's a very rare game. You're going to want to write this one down. Many of you might be interested in this. The Lost Child. Because I'm not selling this, but what I really wanted is the Nintendo Switch version. This is the poor man's version. Because the Nintendo Switch one is worth a lot more money. And I think it's going to become a very sought-after rare game in the future. And what we've been told is that there's no reprints coming. The NIS originally had the rights to this game, and NIS reprints everything. This game was delisted from the digital store. 100% delisted. It is a dungeon crawling RPG, turn-based RPG. I've been told it's very similar to Shin Megami Tensei games, but since I don't play those games, I can't verify, can't say anything about those games. But what I can tell you is that it's the spiritual sequel. No, let me rephrase. It's not a sequel. Because it's not a direct sequel to the story. It is a spiritual successor in the same universe with many returning characters as El Shaddai, the PS3 game that was later ported to the PS4/5, I do believe, /Nintendo Switch in the HD remake. So, a lot of people don't know that because this does not have El Shaddai anywhere in the title. They don't advertise it. The only reason it's not a $500 game right now is because it's not very good. It's not known for being very good. But it's not bad either. It's not bad. It's not a bad game. It's always been rare, especially in the Nintendo Switch version. But on the PS4, this game is still very cheap to this day right now, especially if you don't want a sealed copy. Well, according to price charting, it's creeping up very slowly, but the PS4 version in particular was dirt cheap not that long ago. $14.49 USD in 2019. No, less than that. $13. It's been creeping up every year since. Currently price charts for $40 US. And I really don't think that this game is getting cheaper. So I'm mentioning this now because one, this is a collection video, but number two, if you're interested, I really don't think it's going to get reprinted, and it ain't getting any cheaper. I did find a post on Reddit. Somebody had said that VGP had stated that they tried to get a reprint for The Lost Child last year. This was about a year ago where this was posted, before the delisting from the eShop, but the publisher did not want to, so therefore I don't think it will ever be reprinted. So the new publisher that owns the rights, not NIS, they told VGP, we don't want you reprinting it. So if you're interested in a obscure, somewhat unique RPG that's not exactly a 10 out of 10, look into that one. I'm not here to do a review video. You'll have to do your own research to see if that's something that you might be interested in. Here's the thing though, here's the kicker. I think that El Shaddai will get more popular over time. It's always been a hidden gem. In fact, if they didn't re-release it, El Shaddai on the PS3 would have probably doubled in value already, if not tripled. This is now the obsolete, inferior copy. The new HD remaster is the copy to go. But if they don't re-release this, I think its popularity will grow as the popularity of El Shaddai also grows. In addition to this being sought after by RPG lovers and rare game hunters. All right, next up, we might as well throw Pang up there, Pang Adventures. I got this once again before the Switch version came out. It took years and years before they finally ported this to the Switch. This is an underrated co-op, two-player co-op game. One of the best ever made. And I got this version because I have sentimental value with this version. I had a good experience playing Pang Adventures on two-player. I even beat it on single-player myself. I beat the whole game. It's just so underrated. You have no idea. You have no idea how good this game is. It sounds simplistic. People look at it and they say, oh, it doesn't look all that good. It's from the Buster Bros series. That would be the North American name that you are more familiar with. I don't know why they stopped using that particular title, but that's what this is. It's Buster Brothers. Very fun game. Arcade game back in the day. I'm pretty sure I played this in the arcade. Underrated, I'm telling you, and it's cheap. It's so cheap today, right now. Let's check the price. I mean, there's absolutely nothing going on with this chart here, but it is, as you can see, very, very cheap, especially once again, if you're not getting a brand new copy. You cannot get a new copy for $15. So this is deceptive in the pricing here. It's not exactly accurate, but we can see down here, what, $28. Okay. Will it get cheaper? I don't know, maybe. But if you're looking for a 2-player game to play with your wife, especially, or your kids, or your girlfriend, or your friend in general, I guarantee you will have a good time. Speaking of party games, also got Crawl. And I bought this one because I thought it would be a good game to bring over to a friend's house. Like I said, I don't have a PS4, but I envisioned me at the time, I was going to bring this over to my friend's house to play. I maybe even give him the game as a gift or sell it to him. I don't know. This was something my friend didn't want to buy it. I wanted to play it. It's a 4-player party game where you're all dungeon crawling. Super fun. I played it. It was a while ago though, so I'm going on vague memory. I played it, 4 players. It's very fun because you're running around and 3 of you, if it's on 4-player, are playing the monsters, and you're trying to kill the hero because whoever kills the hero gets to become the hero. And you're upgrading your I think you upgrade your hero as well, but you're upgrading your monsters for sure, and they're getting stronger and stronger, and they're never the same. You're constantly spending money and upgrading your monsters to kill the hero, because how you beat the game is whoever the hero is to kill the boss. I know this doesn't make any sense, but that's how I'm going to describe it. But in order to kill the boss, you have to level up. So everyone's leveling up their heroes, leveling up their monsters, and constantly fighting each other. So you're not fighting AI enemies. It's real life enemies. And that's what makes it fun. But here's the thing. I'm selling this because it is fun, but it's not as fun as I thought it would be. I would recommend it still, but only if you understand that it's kind of played a couple of times at most, and then you're done with it. So I was kind of disappointed in that. I mean, that's such is the nature of party games. I've been playing party games my whole life. This is definitely a lower tier party game though. Even for party games get boring quick. That's why you constantly have to switch out the party games. You can't just play this game for 6 hours. Like you're going to play it once and then you're done. And then you might come back to it a couple more times at most, and then you're done. All right, now here's a real freaking gem. And I'm not selling this one. I'm not selling Lost Child. I'm selling Pang. I'm selling Outer Wilds. This is Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter. I got this one just browsing eBay one day, to be honest. I had no idea it existed. I was browsing eBay. I said, what the hell is this? This ridiculous game. What is this? And it turns out it's an unofficial sequel to the One Chanbara series. It's part of that universe. It's just not an One Chanbara game. And instead of being girls in bikinis with samurai swords and focusing on hand-to-hand combat and slicing samurais in half, this is a third-person shooter. So it's a gun shooting game. Although you can still slice the enemies in half, it's primarily a third-person shooter. So they just switched the gimmick up a little bit. And you're still girls in bikinis, and there's a lot of humor involved. You can throw your clothes off to distract the zombies and get away if need be, for example. And there's a lot of tits involved. And you know what? In fact, I'd be lying to you right now if I told you I bought it for the third-person shooter aspect or the zombies. I didn't buy it for any of that. I bought it because I want to see schoolgirls with big tits. I want to see big-breasted women. And I want to see them shoot zombies in their underwear. And that's exactly what you get in this game. I mean, you get what you pay for. That's it. Oh yeah, and I'm keeping this one because I think it's funny. It's just a little piece of history, and I hope it becomes rare one day. Hope it becomes rare. Now it does have a major flaw. As far as I know, there's no two-player co-op on the same console. It's online only, which is absolutely ridiculous. But that's the way it is. Speaking of two-player co-op, I got Blazing Chrome, and I only got this because I got a good deal on it. Because I already have the Switch version, so that's why I'm going to resell this. This is a Contra clone. A modern 16-bit style, if you didn't already know, Contra clone, but it goes even better than that. It's not just a Super Contra clone. It's not a Super Contra 3, the Aliens War clone. It's not a Super C clone. It's not a Contra NES clone. It's a Sega Genesis Contra Hardcore clone. That's what it is. Contra for the Sega Genesis, which is arguably the best Contra ever made. In fact, in my older age now, I have started to agree with that. I used to say Super C was the best, but every time I play the Sega Genesis one, I start to understand, and my bias has been slowly eliminated because I have a lot of nostalgia for Super C. I played the hell out of it. You have no idea. Two-player co-op. I had a friend. We played that game 24/7. But Blazing Chrome, it's a hard game too, by the way. Very, very hard. So this is sealed. So is my Nintendo Switch one because I played it on PC. So I know what I'm talking about. It's a good game. I could never beat it though. I'm just not good enough. You know, maybe in my younger days, maybe I had better reflexes back then. I don't know, but it's very hard. But I do have a friend that beat the game. He beat Blazing Chrome with a buddy on two-player co-op. To this day, I don't know how he did it, but let me tell you something. I have a theory. Because he had taken a lot of mushrooms prior to him and his buddy beating the game. And for all we know, they didn't even beat it. They just thought that they beat it. Because that's what I'm not suggesting you do this, by the way. I would never do this. But this is what happened. I'm just telling you the story of how they beat the game and what happened. I think that those mushrooms must have given them superhuman cat-like reflexes, like they had entered this new dimension, like the Matrix, when Neo can see the universe with the Matrix coding, and he just knows what move Agent Smith is going to do. Agent Smith is going for a high punch. He just blocks it without even looking, because he can see the code of the Matrix. I think that's what happened. And that's how my friend beat Blazing Chrome. All right, now on to the final game. I should have had this one up earlier because this is one of the best games. And I wish this was on the Switch. This is Curses and Chaos. This game looks incredible. 8-bit style, arcade style game. Oh, dang. Arcade style game. 8-bit, two-player co-op, non-stop action. If only they had a physical version on the Switch. They don't even have a digital eShop version, because I couldn't find it. This is a very simplistic, wave-based action brawler game. Old school arcade style, like think 1985. Okay? This game could have been in the arcades in 1985, or the late 1980s. No, even before that. 1985 probably would have been good enough to make this game back then. I don't think it got good reviews, but it looks fun. You gotta understand, you gotta imagine playing this with a friend. Your wife could pick this game up and enjoy it. But basically, you collect money and you craft items. It looks like there's a lot of items to craft, and eventually you're trying to craft the elixir of life to be able to beat the game. Very simplistic, very repetitive. So you know, once you beat it once, it's over. But it looked really fun, and it's cheap. Dirt cheap game. I mean, it might even get cheaper. I mean, who knows? It really hasn't done much on the price trading, at least. It's always been cheap. It's not sought after, I can tell you that much. Could it go any lower than this? I mean, this is pretty low as is. What's this in Canadian dollars? 25 Canadian dollars. Put it on your radar if you're looking for something fun to play with your kids or your wife, or a very short, something that you'll get bored of rather quickly, but you can have a couple of nights of fun with it, and then you'll be done with it. That's what this kind of game looks like. And I don't even need to play it to know that. But graphically, it looks incredible. Visuals look great. And I'm not selling it for that reason. I got it for real cheap too. I think I paid 16 Canadian dollars for it. It's brand new sealed. I could sell it. I thought about selling it. I might still sell it. It's in the maybe pile. I want you to look at the chart here for Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter as well. So according to price charting, this goes for about 25 USD CIB. Brand new is about 32 though. I think when I was on the market, there was still a lot of brand new sealed copies. In fact, the sealed copies might have been cheaper than the CIB copies. But more importantly, you should be looking at this chart to see that there appears to have been a wave 1 move for the first time in the game's history. So $25 might be the new floor, whereas prior to that it had flatlined. $20 was resistance prior to that. See? Had trouble breaking that $20 level many, many times, floating at that level for various peaks as well. So just trading range bound shot up in 2024, so very recently. So this might be a sign that we are entering the era now where some of these PS4 games are starting to go up. And I don't do PS4 pricing videos because I don't collect much for the PS4 yet. That might change in the future. As you can see, I've dabbled in this console. But just be aware of that. If there is a game such as Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter that you want, it probably ain't getting any cheaper. Like, PS4 games are very cheap. And this is a game that you could wake up one day and all of a sudden it's $50. Oh, I almost forgot. I have one other game. Magica 2. And I got this, once again, a party game. You see a theme here? I got most of these for party games. I could bring these games over to friends' houses, right? My friend doesn't have Magica 2. He does, and he's not going to pay for it digitally or Crawl. My friend's not going to buy Crawl. He's got a PS4. I don't. So I thought, okay, I'll purchase the game then, because guess what? They're cheap. I can get all of these games today for very cheap, and I get my money's worth entertainment-wise in just one night of fun. If I could bring Magic over to a friend's house and have fun for a couple hours, I got my money's worth. In my mind, I got my money's worth. And I was waiting for a Switch version. It never came up. Magica showed up in an auction group. I got it for a really good deal. I don't remember what I paid. Maybe it was $20. 32 USD is what this is going for currently. 35 brand new. And again, that's if you can get it for that price. We're on USD right now, and here's a sold listing with the card though, mind you, $40 US. With 2 cards, $40 down here, includes card. Okay, $40 with the card at least. This is a very fun game. If you haven't seen this before, you are all wizards, and there's many, many different spells that you can cast by making what seems like an innumerable amount of different spells. To be honest, I was a little bit overwhelmed at how many spells you could create, because you could just mix and mash a million different elements together and make a million different spells. But where the game's fun level comes, where its unique charm comes, is that there is friendly fire on at all times. And you are going to kill each other. Especially on 4-player. It's going to happen, and it's part of the fun. Like, that's just what happens. Now you're supposed to try not to kill each other, and that's also part of the fun, is trying to coordinate. Like, hey, I'm going to cast this spell. I mean, you do you on how you guys figure out how you're going to coordinate. Because when we played it, we basically just ended up turning it into a free-for-all, which was also just as fun. Because you can resurrect everyone. It's not like when you die, you're out. You can be resurrected. So you can play one of two ways. You can try to go through the campaign, Or you can just have a big free-for-all fest and just kill each other to death a million times over with a million different spells. I'm shocked. Okay, to be honest, I'm shocked that this sells for as cheap as it does. But I do know that you can get it digitally for very cheap. It goes on sale frequently. So maybe that's contributing to the fact that nobody wants it. Or because it's a party game. You got to understand, party games are not sought after the same way that horror games or RPGs are sought after. But even knowing that, I did think that this one would have started to go up in value already right after its release, because I thought it being, in that RPG elements realm, action RPG, action game with wizards. But yeah, interestingly enough, it's not taken off. I'll never understand why. I think it justifies being a $100 game, to be honest with you. But maybe being that it's a PS4 game, commanding a $32 price tag, maybe that says something. The fact that this hasn't crashed down to being a $20 game or a $15 game, that might tell you something. So, I might sell this one. I'll have to check if it's on the Switch digitally before I consider selling this. This video definitely went on a lot longer than I anticipated, but I hope that you guys were able to get some enjoyment out of this. I know it's a very strange scenario where I don't actually have a PS4, but you have to understand, when I started collecting, I thought I was going to get a PS4. I didn't know that I wasn't going to get one. And then it just eventually morphed into, okay, I'll get a couple of these games to bring over to a friend's house. And of course, that never ended up being the case either. So then it became the forever, never-ending, oh, I'll eventually get a PS4. I'll get one later. I'll get one later. I'll get one later. And I never did. And I do have an honorable mention. I did originally have River City Girls for PS4, the first print limited run games. Luckily, I sold it when it was worth a lot of money. I sold it was worth a fortune at one point. With the soundtrack, it came with a free soundtrack. I sold it because, once again, the Switch version wasn't out at the time when I ordered it. And I later got the Switch version. So guys, let me know what you thought of this video. And in particular, let me know if there's any games in here that you might be interested in that you didn't know about, because maybe these are all common games that everyone and their mother knows about. But I'm hoping that you were able to get at least one hidden gem. Maybe you knew about it, but you didn't know that it might actually be good, or you didn't know it was so cheap and that therefore you might want to consider picking it up. And I also want to shout out to all my Patreon supporters. Thank you very much. The support means a lot. If you want to join the Patreon, there is a link in the description below. I do post exclusive content for the Patreon. That is my way of saying thank you for the supporters. Your support keeps this channel going. Everyone who comments, all the subscribers, you guys are the reason this channel even exists. And I thought I'd go outside the box a little bit today, showing this very small, but what I would consider a very good, solid PS4 collection.